As a fish living in the ocean, I have seen firsthand how pollution is destroying our home. The ocean is vast and seemingly endless, but it is not invincible. The impacts of pollution are devastating, not just for marine life like myself, but for the entire ecosystem that depends on the ocean for survival. One of the most significant impacts of pollution on my home is plastic waste. Plastic bags, bottles, and other debris often end up in the ocean, where they can take hundreds of years to decompose. As a fish, I often mistake plastic for food, and it can become lodged in my digestive system, causing injury and even death. Plastic waste can also entangle me or other marine life, leading to drowning or suffocation. It is estimated that more than 8 million metric tons of plastic waste enter the ocean every year. If this trend continues, there could be more plastic in the ocean than fish by 2050. Chemical pollution is another major threat to my home. Chemicals, such as pesticides and industrial chemicals, are often washed into the ocean through runoff from agricultural or industrial activities. These chemicals can disrupt my reproductive and immune systems, as well as that of other marine life. They can also lead to birth defects and mutations in my offspring, reducing the viability of our population. Some chemicals can even accumulate in our tissues over time, leading to long-term health problems. Oil spills are yet another threat to my home. Accidents during the transportation or extraction of oil can lead to massive spills that pollute the ocean and the shoreline. The oil can coat my gills, reducing my ability to breathe, and also contaminate the water, killing or injuring marine life. Even small spills can have significant impacts on marine life and their habitats. For example, oil spills can damage coral reefs, which provide shelter and breeding grounds for many species of fish and other marine life. Finally, nutrient pollution is another way in which humans are destroying my home. Nutrient pollution occurs when excess nutrients, such as nitrogen and phosphorus, enter the ocean through runoff from fertilized fields or sewage treatment plants. This excess nutrient can lead to an overgrowth of algae, which can deplete the oxygen levels in the water, leading to the death of fish and other marine life. This phenomenon is known as dead zones, and they are becoming more common in coastal areas around the world. All of these forms of pollution are impacting the health and survival of marine life, including myself. We are not the only ones affected by pollution. Other marine animals, such as sea turtles, dolphins, and whales, are also suffering. The impacts of pollution ripple through the entire ecosystem, from the smallest plankton to the largest marine mammals. So, what can we do to reduce pollution and protect our oceans? There are several actions that we can take as individuals and as a society to address this issue. Firstly, we can reduce our use of plastics. We can choose to use reusable bags, bottles, and containers instead of single-use plastics. We can also support legislation that bans or reduces the production and use of single-use plastics. This will help to reduce the amount of plastic waste that ends up in the ocean. Secondly, we can adopt sustainable agricultural and industrial practices. This includes reducing the use of pesticides and other chemicals, improving wastewater treatment, and reducing runoff from agricultural fields. By doing so, we can reduce the amount of chemical pollution that enters the ocean.